Hi, my name is Maria Hult and I work as a product marketing manager at Rillion. We are going to do a demo, 10 minutes or something like that, around the Rillion Prime invoice handling solution. Rillion Prime is a cloud-based solution that you can work with on any kind of device, if you have the computer, of course, mobile, tablet, or also in an email. When a user gets an invoice to handle in the system, they will get an email reminder. And in that, they could actually, if they have permission, also approve the invoices. But let's log into the application and see what we have. Rillion Prime is role-based. That means that my user, Frank, is connected to one or several roles in the system. All permissions, what I can do and see in the application, is connected to my role. Also permissions to what companies I can work on and for all the dimensions like the account, cost center projects, or whatever you have. If I'm connected to more than one company, I could still select the company that I would like to work with, but I don't have to. I could actually work with all companies in the same login and view. We will start the process where the invoice process starts, and that is when the invoices arrives into the application. So I will go as an accounts payable to something that is called the invoice log. The invoice log is the entrance of all invoices coming into the application, and it's only for the accounts payable and finance department to work in here. If you do have a lot of invoices in your organization or work with many different companies, it could be good to do a selection before you start working with the invoices. But before the invoices ends up in here, they need to go be captured in some way. And for example, if you do get invoices on paper, you need to scan them. If you get them as PDFs in an email, we need to interpret them. We need to grab the information from the invoices that is needed to process the invoice further on. We can also support e-invoices like XML, EDI, and those can go directly into the application and end up in this invoice log. The invoice log will also do a lot of validations of the data to verify that it's a known supplier, it's not a duplicate invoice and stuff like that. And then we will also do matching against purchase orders, contracts, and what we call reference matching to identify where to send it and how to book it. But we will look more on that soon. If you do have a lot of invoices to work with, you could create selection templates that you can start with. So for example, if I would like to start with invoices where we could not find a supplier, then I can take that as a filter, or credit invoices or duplicate invoices to work with those first. But now let's start searching for invoices for company 20 only. So this is the view where I can work with my invoices as an accounts payable. Here I see the values that has been captured on the invoice, what supplier it is, supplier invoice number, the dates, and so on. But first of all, we are to focus on those two fields. So each invoice that arrives into the application will get a proposal for the flow, where to send it, who needs to review and look at this invoice. And the flow could be anything from nobody actually. The invoice could go directly into the ERP system to be recorded and booked and paid. It could also go to a specific role in the workflow or a department. So depending on type of invoice, we will get different flow proposals. The invoices will also get an account posting proposal. In some cases, the account posting will be fetched from the purchase order or contract. And sometimes we have a posting template that is fetched and put on the invoice. So all invoices will get a flow proposal and some type of account posting proposal. What we also do in here is to match the invoices to some kind of underlying document. That could be a purchase order or a contract. If an invoice could identify a purchase order coming either from Rillion Prime's buyer module or from an external purchase order system, we will match it and see if it's correct. If the invoice is according to the PO, there is actually no need for us to review this invoice. This could go directly to recording and be paid. But the matching outcome could also be that there is some kind of variance, and it can be a delivery variance. We haven't received the goods that we ordered. Or a price variance. Well, yeah, you do find the order, but the price is not the same as on the order. And then somebody needs to review that invoice and approve the price variance. And the same if I do have a contract. Let's say I have a contract with a cleaning company for cleaning of the office. And I know that they will send me invoices every month. Then we could match the invoice to that contract and do the same here. If it's according to the contract, nobody needs to look at it. It's a touchless invoice. And we will get the account coding from the contract. So this is the accounts payables view where we are getting all invoices in at the first time. And then after here, they will be routed to those workflows. So let's go to an end user, a reviewer within the organization. And I will use the role consultant here. So just change the role, and then we can see that the view will change as well. So this is my inbox with my invoices that I need to review and look at and approve. And let's open up one of those. This is the view where I'm working with my invoices. All information that I need to know about this invoice to be able to actually approve it will be in this view. I will see the invoice image. I will see the information that was captured from that invoice. I will see the workflow. Who needs to approve this invoice? And this is a visual workflow, so I can see where it has been, where it is right now, and where it will go next. We can also see the suggested account posting proposal that is right now, where we have the account, cost center and project, and all your dimensions. And down here, I also see comments that has been set on an invoice. And if this seems to be correct, the only thing I have to do is just to press sign in the header, and the invoice will go automatically to the next person in the flow. Let's change role to be the manager. The manager will be the final approver of this invoice and the cost. And he also have an inbox. And we can open up this invoice again. So it's the same type of view, but I have a little bit higher permission than the previous role. I will just change a little bit here so it's easier to see what we have. Same view with all the information in one view. But let's, for example, say that I would like to change the account posting. Then I can do that because I have permission to do so. The account posting can be changed in different ways. I can either manually do it, or I can copy postings from previous invoices, or I can open up a posting template to set on this invoice, or I can import the posting from Excel. The workflow that was set as a proposal could also be changed, either manually, that I just change it, or automatically based on things that is happening with the invoice. So let's look at an example. If I were to put a project on this invoice, I just click on the line and say this should be booked on the implementation of a new ERP system. And I update the coding. then also the flow will be updated. This project is owned by the production manager, and he needs to also now review and approve the cost. The final thing will be to look into how you can search in the system. As accounts payable, I have a lot of permissions, so I can do a lot of different searches. So if under reports, you find a lot of different type of reports and search views. And I go to the invoice tab and start with the show invoice. The show invoice report is not a report in itself. It's more a tool for you to search in the archive and create your own reports. So all values that is on an invoice are possible to search on. So you can search on the supplier, dates, status of the invoice, all the parts of the account coding, the dimensions, projects, and so on. And if you do a selection in here, you could save that selection and create your own favorite reports. Let's say I would like to look at all active invoices in the application. You can search cross companies or for one specific company. I will get up a list based on my selection, and all columns here are possible to sort on, so you can just click on them to sort on dates or company or whatever. I can see where the invoices are right now. The result could be exported out to Excel, and I can also print out the images as a PDF file. You can always drill into an invoice and look at the details. And then you can go between invoices in here to look at the details of the invoice. So this show invoice view could be used by anybody in the organization, but what they can see when they're searching here is based on their permissions. So it can be anything from I can only see the invoices that I handle myself, or anything on a specific company or project or whatever. Another type of report that we have is the bottleneck report. The bottleneck report is more for accounts payable and finance to trace the process and see how we are doing. If I search here, I will be able to see how long it takes for the people in my organization to actually handle their invoices. So I can see as accounts payable, 692 invoices were processed within 1 to 2 days. But there are actually 35 invoices that was in that inbox for more than 10 days. And then I can drill down to look at the details around those invoices. I can also see that in average it takes 2 days, so that's quite okay. So that was all what I wanted to show you today in Rillion Prime invoice handling. And if you would like to see some more videos from us, you can find them in our YouTube channel. And I hope to talk to you soon again.